What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike Labelle, and today, my friends, we're talking gameplay in FIFA 21. Maybe if I was the commissioner, put me into that position, the dirty commish. We're gonna talk about what I would change, what needs to be shifted, and I speak for the community, from the community. I have polled you all over Twitter. We've gone back and forth. We've discussed. I'm proud of this list. I feel strongly about the knowledge that I'm about to present, and that you at home that's watching, you agree. Might even be a mini rant. And if you want EA to see this, drop a like on the video. Put something in the comments. YouTube algorithm, that's how it works. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just speaking it into existence. It's the best way to get a lot more views, traction, you name it. And yes, of course, it supports yours truly as well. I'm not here to put on a front, not for the camera. We keep everything transparent at all times. And the vibe and the community presence we have here with my channel or any of the other social media outlets, I want to be one of those people you can sit down and we'll have a round table discussion. We can have a beer together. That's the type of vibe and energy that I'm looking for. Are we on the same page? I think we are. Before we get started with FIFA 21 gameplay changes, I do want to say this: FIFA 20 gets maybe an undeserved negative reputation in some regards, because you got to remember, FIFA 19 didn't do anything right. You didn't need a midfield. You just lobbed the ball forward. It was easier to score from outside of the box as opposed to being inside the box. Time finishing, way too overpowered. Concept in theory makes sense. Then we had the goalkeeper movement, flicking it up for volleys, El Tornado crosses. The realism wasn't there. The simulation wasn't there. The gameplay, even from being fast-paced, arcadey in the right way, that wasn't there. FIFA 20 trajectory, mechanics, football structure, it's all present. Basically had to rebuild or put together a completely new title top to bottom because FIFA 19 had issues, lots of issues. If you don't believe me or you don't agree, just run back some FIFA 19 matches, rewatch some gameplay on the interwebs, then let's have that discussion. AI assistance and manual defending. I gotta get this reward. I want everything in the bag, including the bag. All the above, all encompassing. If I go for it, I gotta get rewarded. If I take that gamble, that risk, I move my players manually, that's coming with me. I'm overtaking possession. We've gotten to a point in FIFA 20, and I hate admitting this on camera, but in certain moments, it's of a higher percentage if you allow the AI to take control, whether that's going to be taking up the space or blocking a shot, as opposed to you doing it yourself. Every week in league, I'm paying attention. I'm watching elite caliber opponents choose when they want the AI to take over and when they want to do some manual pressure, when they'd like to drop back, when they'd like to push forward. And the amount of assistance just caters to such a casual player. I'm not accustomed to AI decision making. That's never going to shift for me. And I'll admit, I have a bias. I'm not casual. I'm not intermediate. I'm very advanced. I come from a background in competitive FIFA. I want large skill gaps, and that doesn't fit into every niche. That's not the category that everyone's after. I'm not putting on FIFA once a week in my living room with the boys. I'm playing the game daily. I'm looking at new SBCs. What's happening with division rivals? Well, I got to get prepared for the weekend league. What kind of content can I put together for the people? I'm invested, and I take pride in my ability to micromanage defenders and midfielders, player switching, how to double team your opponent. You're playing mind games, a bait and switch, manual tackles, how to recover, anticipation at the highest degree. And all I'm asking is that more often than not, that gives me a competitive advantage. I think it's a simple request. You can call me the FIFA AI debt collector. I'll take that role. Where is the application? Attacking AI movement and functions. It's harder to score than it is to defend. That in itself is extremely problematic. This is the lowest level of offensive AI I have ever witnessed in any FIFA installment. I'm convinced players don't want to score. The way they stand behind midfielders, behind defenders, constantly covered. It's as if you're waiting in line, but you can never get to the front. They're stagnant, never on their toes. Who trained them? Where is the motivation? These guys are sleeping on the pitch, stealing a check. When I supplied the contract, that means I get a full 90. It looks like Jigglypuff is playing all of her tunes when I'm on the offensive end. Dirty Mike's melatonin on the virtual pitch. Your players are in a trance and they won't snap out of it. Personally, I just feel as if EA had so much they wanted to improve or needed to work on from FIFA 19 and the AI got lost in the sauce. We've never experienced this lack of AI movement and natural organic football intelligence. Even slow FIFAs, we can date back, compare and contrast to FIFA 17, which is a much more beloved title, still a very slow title. The build-up, it took time, but the way that your players attack space or open up space for you, how they support runs. I should not have to trigger every offensive run. That means your AI has no awareness. None. Zilch. Zero. This title feels stiff. It's like your grandmother. She didn't do any stretching. It's before she started knocking out yoga in the nursing home. I don't want firm workout booty. I want free-flowing rap music video. I have no idea if my analogies have gone too far off the rails in this here example. You'll let me know. The tactics, or the tactical approach. I call it flipping a switch. That's not what tactics are about. And it was a good addition to add in the ability to change formations on the fly. I have no complaints. But our current quick tactics and some of the defensive options that have become so rinse, wash, repeat, and it's not even about ability because they're so assisted. I don't even think you need quick tactics at this point. The only two that I use is team pressing, and I'm not proud about that. I don't enjoy it. And I use the offside trap. The rest of them, I could do without. Even those, I'd be willing to sacrifice. Quick tactics aren't the bee's knees. They aren't a necessity, nor should they impact gameplay to this degree. Remove overload ball side. Remove drop back. Or have a clear punishment. You're going to use these, fine. Your team's exhausted. Maybe you don't get as much AI assistance if you go into these types of tactics. When they're beat, they're beat. They're not back into the picture. For 90 minutes, these men will put their life on the line to stop you from scoring. And the worst part about this tactical flip of the switch approach is your opponent has nothing to do with it. He's not involved in that conversation. He's not moving players around. Let me tell you a weekend league story. You're in a match. Your opponent's on drop back. No depth, even sprinkled in a little overload ball side, giving you the triple threat. You're working your tail off, trying to open up any lanes of space, hoping for a bounce to go your way. You finally get the opening goal, and your opponent doesn't do anything manually. All of a sudden, adjust his tactic. Now he's high pressure player, double teams, aggressive, man marking, perfection. You can't move. This is the best pressure player you've ever seen, and he just went from not even knowing the controls. The point I'm making, the tactics are too powerful and they're not personalized. It's like you build a car, but you don't even drive it. This is not a good version of a Tesla. Wing play needs a place. Crossing needs a home. We have currently eliminated crossing in FIFA 20, which in turn makes it easier to park the bus or to crowd the middle. Tell everybody to stay central, have that lower depth, play a counter-attacking style. You can let your opponent have the ball on the wing and you're not in danger. I'm looking at stats. How many crosses do you score throughout a weekend league? Don't lie, don't exaggerate. Whether it's positive or it's negative, run a counter. This next weekend league, let me know how many goals you score from something that happened in the air. I bring this up because I average 85 to 100 goals per weekend league. Less than 5% are going to be crosses. And I know what I'm doing, but that's too low of a percentage. You lose the value. Players that have a big body, target men, their stock is on the low because they're not capable of doing their job. All these physical attributes and traits and the specimen and the big body, they're in the gym. Why is Lukaku not able to convert in the air? Lewandowski, it's not happening. Mandzukic, no value. Been an SBC player from the beginning of FIFA 20. All of this comes back to balance and versatility. You need to be dynamic when you attack and when you defend. If you make things too automated, too assisted, or if you eliminate an important part of offensive or defensive structure, you might have a lot that's right, but if it doesn't have the correct ingredients or mix of those ingredients, you still leave us asking for more. It's like if I prepare a pizza. We all like pizza. In fact, if someone does not like pizza and they don't have an issue with dairy, I wouldn't trust them. But if I burn that pizza, you probably don't want a slice. More variation with shooting. As it stands currently, FIFA 20, long shots, not relevant. Volleys, Barely. Headers? I can't even convert on a rebound with a header. Wide open goal. Puts it right over the crossbar. Finesse shooting, may it rest in peace. The low driven has been forgotten. There are people playing FIFA 20 right now that don't even know the low driven shot exists. They haven't seen it before. They don't know what buttons do the low driven. That's not instinctive. Completely forgotten. If I was advising someone how to finish, I would say just work on the power shot, hit the near post, sometimes across the body. That's too simple. And that's not real life. I need prolific offensive opportunities. I don't want to just orchestrate the perfect attack and have the intricacies with the build-up. The climax is the finish. That key moment where you almost ask yourself, ooh, what if? Could this go in? Can he hit this with his weak foot? I'm gonna go for it. Let me try to produce something special. That's missing right now in FIFA 20. Are there scenarios where a different shot type or shot selection will improve your percentage of converting? Yes. But when in doubt, power it out. The point I'm making, you can become an elite player without using any of the different types of finishes. Whether that's the chip shot, the finesse, the low driven, even some of your body positioning. They've simplified everything with this final third of the pitch that you want to take credit. You want to be passionate about. Now you almost take credit in your patience. Whether that's with your skill moves or an extra pass where you're waiting till you get it close enough where you can hit that power shot on the near post or hit it across the body. I don't know if I'm just too much of a football enthusiast or maybe even a FIFA enthusiast, but I want that moment where you're uncertain. You're not sure what's next. I want to build up to that. And this year, it's not there for me. When I'm thinking exquisite play or that was beautiful, it's always within the build to the goal, or almost always within the build up to the goal. And that's what I was stressing with the extra touch or the skill move or the change of direction. But someone like Lewandowski should be able to tell that story, that narrative via his actual finishing capability. When you watch him in real life, I can pull up highlights right now. There are goals that he scores where he generates power in a way that I have no idea how he did it. Or an angle with his left foot. What were you thinking? It's not just as simple as a Trivela, but the way that he shapes his body, finds just the smallest crease in the defense. That's all I'm requesting. I need that energy. I want that spark. And right now, it's not good enough. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed it, remember to drop a like, put something in the comments. It's free to subscribe. And I feel like with these changes, and there's quite a bit that needs to be shifted, we would progress the title as long as the balance is done properly. But I'm looking forward to FIFA 21, and I have a lot more content coming for you ASAP.